textbook is an open book with empty pages. We are the people who face the same. So welcome to Twins World, all about parenting. Today we are going to discuss another sensitive topic, that is child abuse. A child can be abused physically, mentally, sexually, emotionally, and if we are not giving the care what the child is supposed to get the care, we can call it as neglect. So these are some of the forms of child abuse, and we need to understand that our children are really vulnerable to be under abuse, and they are not trained or not able to cope up to defend and say no to any of these things. If you see, 99% of the children has undergone any kind of abuse. When we talk about physical abuse, deliberate intention to give any kind of pain, we can call it as physical abuse. It can be the marks of the beatings or any kind of fractures or any blisters or any burn injuries. What we can see in children, we can expect some kind of physical abuse. Mainly children who are working under someone, we can expect the same. Sometimes we can see in some children who underwent strict discipline, maybe because of any kind of corporal punishment, we can see the signs of physical abuse. Any kind of behavior that can affect the mental status of a child, we can call it as emotional abuse or mental abuse. For example, if the father, mother or anyone shouting at the child without showing any kind of sympathy, or being shouting at every time throughout the day, can cause mental abuse or emotional abuse. Or we are not showing any kind of act of sympathy as another kind of mental abuse. The third point what we can think is prolonged time of silence by the loved ones really gives hurt to the heart of the person. More than that, any harsh jokes at the expense of the child, we can comment that it is a mental abuse for the child. Even calling the child by their nicknames and denaming the child is also an example of emotional abuse. So this kind of children, how we can recognize is their emotional development will be delayed, that means their tantrums will be more, or they may be so angry or crying, and the outburst is very frequent, and social isolation. The child may not be happy with any kind of friends. So this is some of the things we are able to understand that yes, this child is undergoing some kind of emotional trauma. The third abuse what we can expect is neglect. When the parents or the caretakers are not available for them for a prolonged time, we can expect the child for neglect. Especially we can see young children are kept at home alone. Maybe the food timing can be changed and the baby is also given to them to take care. This kind of approach we can mainly see when the parents are very much obsessed or being with the work or any kind of mental disorder or any kind of drug abusers. So when the parents become like that, the children are considered to be neglected. And these children also will be aloof and have their own toys, and they may be in their own world. So when you see a child like that, we can expect, yes, this child can go to a phase of being neglected, or the child is a victim of neglect. The last type of child abuse what we can see is sexual abuse. I would say majority of the children has undergone the sexual abuse, whether it is verbalized or not verbalized, that's a fact. If you ask me, if you ask anyone, have anyone stimulated you sexually in our childhood, I'm 100% sure that 99% of the crowd who's listening to me will say yes, because that is very quietly practiced in our society. When you talk about sexual abuse, we need to understand any kind of behavior, what is provoking or making the child to stimulate sexually, we call it as sexual abuse. And some of the behaviors, what we can see is fondling and some kind of forced sexual acts or indecent physical exposure. If you see, it's not only girl child as a victim of the same. The number of male children to this kind of act is increasing day by day. So this sexual abuse is one of the major thing we need to be taken care as parents and elders. One thing we need to understand, sexual life is something we really want, mainly want once you're getting married, for your marriage to be continued. And this kind of sexual abuse in childhood either stimulate the child to become sexually addicted, so that we can see they are into pornography, or they will go with the opposite gender or same gender. There is no disparity now in gender for any kind of sexual stimulation. In the childhood, who is stimulating you based on that person? Suppose if I'm stimulated by a girl, I can go for a lesbian nature, and if I'm stimulated by a man, then I can like not a homogeneous heterosexual partner. So this kind of behavior is mainly happening from this child abuse, and otherwise the opposite thing, the child will be scared or they sin or allow the husband to touch him or her after the marriage. So this is one of the main consequences of child abuse which is happening. And those who are doing this child abuse is not realizing that what impact is put in these children from the childhood. If you do anything, please understand, from the age of 2, if you touch a child and stimulate a child sexually, they may not understand what is your purpose, they may not understand a sexual stimulation is happening, but they understand something fearful is happening. And the heights of sexual abuse is the loved ones, that is parents or very close relatives or friends, that is regular visitors of the family, always do a sexual abuse to these children, and the victims, that is our children, are fearful to express it out and being mum and being a victim of this. Sometimes the children tell the parents, yes, this uncle is touching me here or this auntie is touching me here, and as parents or elders, we trust them so much so that we neglect our children. So these are some of the things every child, whichever country you are in, whichever culture you are in, I would say children are being victim. And as parents, I have a request, as a mother, I have a request to all parents, please trust your child more than your partner. More than anyone in this world, trust your child and understand what kind of signs your child is bringing up, so that you are able to realize, recognize and respond and help the child from being a victim throughout their life. So how we can recognize in the children that they have been a sexual victim is, these children may have much knowledge and practice than the age what they are expected to have on a sexual knowledge. Second thing, if they are a little more smaller, their toilet habits has been changed, we can notice. Another thing is itching or any bruises or blood in the genital parts or in underwear. So these are some of the signs we are able to understand that yes, this child might have gone sexual abuse. More than that, if a child is trying to have a sexual attack on of similar age or someone else, understand he is already a victim and is stimulated and he is trying to practice on next child. So these are the important signs where we need to work on. So as parents, we need to understand what is happening to a child. If the eyes is closing twice or thrice as a mother or a father, or the heartbeat is changing, as a mother or father, I should understand something is happening to my child. Talk to them, make them understand that you are with them so that they can pass the information, and you should act to them because even there are laws to support the children, those if they are any kind of abuse they have undergone, and the parents should stand with the children and do not think that, oh, don't tell anyone, you will not get a good proposal, or our family name is going to be affected. These are not the reasons or the excuses you should tell to your child. You can speak more to your child and console them, because the effects of sexual abuse, it's much beyond than the physical, what the injuries, what it can have on a body, the mental impact will be more. So as parents, I and you can take care of our children so that our children will be protected, so that whatever torment I have been undergone or you have been undergone, our children will. Hope this session is interesting. Till we meet in another session with a good topic. I say bye to you.